Okay. Mic wasn't set up for whatever reason. But anyway, uh, yeah, Smash Mouth All Star in medieval bard. It's called Bardcore. Um, I honestly don't know how this started or how I found it, but it's fucking hilarious. Any hoozles, welcome in. Gonna basically do the same thing again this week. We got a game going on right now. Derrick Henry just scored a touchdown, I think. Is the yeah, he did. So it's 14-6 Titans. Um, Basically going to go over who I think is going to win in each matchup, and then go over the power rankings. And there's not been a lot of news. There was a lot of injury stuff that happened, but ow, I'm going to be honest, I'm not prepared. So um, anyway, Kim and myself, she's easily going to mop the floor with me. Let's move on. Okay, so Ryan and Matt. Nobody playing from tonight's game. Um, hmm. Kyler. Kyler's interesting against the 49ers. 49ers have a good defense, so I feel like Kyler will have to maybe step up. But he's got Ryan has DeAndre. Yeah, Ryan wins this game for sure. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, so if Kyler does good, you got that. Saquon over here, really good. But I mean, Ryan's team's just, Mike Evans on a bye over here on Matt's team. But Jalen Waddle, I don't know. Ryan's team's just too good. Ryan wins that one. Joe and Lance. So Joe's got Christian Watson going right now, 8 points. Really like the Christian Watson start this week for the emergence. I picked him up in the other league that I'm in. Tried to pick him up here and saw that Joe had him and was like, shit. So, yeah. By the time that you guys hear this, Lance's team is going to change a little bit. Lance is not going to have Devin Singletary, and he's not going to have Michael Pittman anymore. He's going to have Damian Pierce from my team. We're making that trade tonight, basically right after I get done with this. Um, so let's pretend that Damian Pierce is here. Who's he going to start at wide receiver? He's going to probably start Brandon Cooks or Dalton Schultz into the flex. So, why is? Oh, that's why, because he doesn't really have anybody. Okay, so Joe's starting James Cook this week. That's not a good look. Kyle Pitts, meh. Um, oh, he's going to pick up a running back. Okay, well, whoever he picks up is going to be in place of James Cook. So let's just say 6, 7, 8 points from somebody off waivers. Christian Watson's already got 8 points. I don't know if it all depends if Mike Williams doesn't play this week and he has to start Tony or Garrett Wilson, because I really don't think Hollywood's going to play, and he can't. I don't think Joe can bank on Hollywood being there with it being the Monday night game. So let's say Mike Williams, which, I mean, shit, that's 720. That sucks too, though. I think with the matchups this week, I think that Lance can actually win this game. Josh Allen, like, you never bet against Josh Allen, but I don't know about the Olave versus the Rams with Andy Dalton being the quarterback. Like, I'm not an Andy Dalton believer whatsoever. Olave's been kind of suffering because of Andy Dalton. He does have Kamara though. Justin Fields is fucking hot. I'm gonna pick Lance to win this one. I'm going out on a limb. I'm doing it. Tyler has spoken. All right. Tiffany and Ben. So Aaron Jones has 6 points right now. Alan Lazard only has the 1.2, one reception for 2 yards at halftime. That's it's not great for Alan Lazard. I wonder how Aaron Rodgers is doing. I haven't watched much of that game tonight, so um, Ben has Chris Godwin on a bye and some kind of like filler people on the bench. Starting lineup looks really good though. Jonathan Taylor might have trouble against Philadelphia's defense this week. Christian McCaffrey should eat. Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown should also be pretty good. Um, maybe it's not an AJ Brown game because Stephon Gilmore will probably be shadowing him, but still Jalen Hurts should be all right. The Colts don't do very well against rushing quarterbacks. Like, for whatever reason, we just can't stop it. Like, we act like it's the first time we've ever seen anybody run. T.J. Hawkinson's been very good since getting to Minnesota. George Pickens, I'm not sure about, and CeeDee Lamb is pretty damn good. So he's playing Dallas's defense against Minnesota. So Tiff has the Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook thing going on. That'll be a pretty damn good game. The game last week with the Vikings and the Bills was probably, I mean, at least that fourth quarter, probably one of the best football games I've ever watched. At least that quarter of it. I mean, to be honest, I didn't watch the entirety of the game. I was watching other stuff, but I did watch basically the entire fourth quarter, and that was insane. So, Stephon Diggs looks like he'll probably have a good week. Courtland Sutton, I'm not a believer in that. Greg Dulcich. I mean, honestly, I think she should probably put Tyler Higbee in instead of Dulcich, but, her team. Deontay Johnson, I mean, do you start? I don't know. It's kind of a rough. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna pick Tiffany. She's on a 1-game winning streak. I'm gonna pick Tiff to win that one. Pull the upset on Ben. John and Tim. So let's check this shit out. Burrow and Jefferson probably will get those points that they're projected for. Donovan Peoples-Jones, not bad. Jamal Williams seems to fall into the end zone every week, at least once. Ramondre Stevenson against the Jets. Jets have pretty good defense, but it's more of a passing than it is run, I think. Foster Moreau, not a fan of that, but he doesn't have anybody else. Curtis Samuel, kind of the same thing. If he gets it, that's great. If he doesn't, Deontay Foreman, I don't know. The Ravens, it feels like to me the Ravens defense shows up sometimes and sometimes they don't, but I think overall they've been a pretty good defense. New England defense, that's a very good matchup against the Jets offense. Juju's hurt, concussion. I guarantee he doesn't play this week. Kirk and Fournette on a bye, and then these players that he's not going to start. I mean, I guess he could throw in Denver's defense, but I don't. Well, they're playing the Raiders. The Raiders do suck ass, so I don't know. I mean, I would definitely start New England, but that's also a good defensive matchup. So John is vulnerable this week. Tyreek Hill, Tyler Lockett, Raheem Mostert on a bye, and his boy Cooper Kupp is on IR. So Ryan could take the number 1 spot this week. But I don't foresee Tim winning this game. Patrick Mahomes, Nick Chubb, James Conner, George Kittle, Patterson and Gibson should have a decent floor. Nico Collins and Van Jefferson, that could literally net him 0 points this week. But I still think even if these two guys get, you know, 5 points between the both of them, I think everybody else on his team will score enough. I'm not saying it's impossible. This is going to be very close. Like literally, the projection is within, less than a point. But I'm still going to pick the studs off of his team, you know, over the studs and the depth on Tim's starting lineup for this week. So I'm picking John. Okay, so let's go back to last week's rivalry week. Obviously, I got fucking trounced. Let's just move on. Ryan, very close game against Lance. 43 points from Justin Fields will do that. That's crazy. Ryan had some, DJ Moore problems. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those. Lance's team didn't really show up either. Ryan had enough from his studs in Kelsey and St. Brown and Prescott and Hopkins to overcome the 43 from Justin Fields. But, Mixon was on a bye. Andrews is hurt. I think Lance has better days ahead here. Tiffany upset her mother by 13 points. So, 2 spot from Dulcich when she could have had a 15. A win's a win, but Lamar and Higgins on a bye. 2 points from Zach Ertz, who got hurt very early in the game. Dallas Goedert got hurt too, but I think it was more towards the end. Robert Woods only getting 3. Derrick Henry had a very low scoring game. Devontae Smith, I think he could have had another touchdown if I remember correctly, because I have him in my other league. So that was unlucky there, but the Tua start was really good. Devontae had a good week. Jacobs had a good week. The Minnesota defense, it's a crazy game still. But yeah, Tiff had some consistency here. Cortland Sutton actually got more than 5 points, so that was nice for her. Dalvin, big game. Aaron Jones, Stephon Diggs, big games. Rondale Moore, big game for Rondale Moore. So, deserved win, even though the bye week problems and the injuries for Kim. I'm not going to say fluke, but Ben and Joe. So Ben comes out with the sizable win here. Joe, Olave, Kamara, Pitts, Claypool, it just bad all around. Leaving 32 from Watson and 22 from Jeff Wilson on the bench does hurt, but I would not in any world have started Jeff Wilson over Kamara or Kenneth Walker or even Gabe Davis, maybe Claypool, but you're Captain Hindsight at that point. AJ Brown had a shit week. Alan Lazard didn't do a whole lot either, but 24 from Jonathan Taylor. Welcome back, Jonathan Taylor. You're fucking welcome, Ben. CeeDee Lamb, 38 points. Yeah, it's just boom week from some of Ben's players there. And then John and Matt. So Matt had another unfortunate incident here. Jerry Jeudy got hurt on pretty sure the first or second play of the game where he was involved. Didn't look very good from what I saw, but I don't think they put him on IR. I'm not going to click it because it's not going to actually give me any information. But I think it was a knee injury if I remember correctly. So Pollard had another good week with Zeke out. Barkley did good, and that's about it. Unlucky there that Kyler didn't play. That was a last-minute thing. Terry McLaurin on the bench hurts. 8 receptions, 128 yards. Terry McLaurin went off on Monday night, but again, I don't blame him for the starts that he did make. I would have done the exact same thing. It's just one of those fluke games that you just kind of got unlucky that he was on your bench when it happened. On John's side, Cooper Kupp, 2 points, 3 receptions for -1 yards. That is a crazy stat line for Cooper Kupp. Unfortunately, got hurt, is on IR. Probably for the remainder of the fantasy season. I don't see him really being a thing, maybe until the playoffs. Like, we're in week 11, so 4 weeks from now will be the first time he would be eligible to come back from IR, according to IR, because they can basically keep him there even longer, would be the first round of the playoffs. And it's Cooper Kupp, so if he's back, you're going to play him. But, man, is that scary trying to play him first game back from an injury in your playoff matchup. Now, if he can survive, he'll get that first round bye. But him and Ryan having the same record, hopefully, for John's sake, he can win out. So Mahomes is a fucking beast. We all know that. Mostert, 18 points. Miami's running game freaking took off. Tyreek Hill, kind of a low game for Tyreek Hill, which is crazy because it's still 15 points. Nick Chubb, 15 points. Pretty good week from Chubb. Kittle, 3, not very good. Lockett, 13, got saved by a touchdown because I was pissed. I have him in the other league, 3 receptions. He was doing nothing, and then he caught a touchdown. And I was like, okay, we're cool. Gibson on the bench, 14 points, not bad. Connor with 23 on the bench. That's kind of rough. Definitely would have rather played him over Patterson if I was John, but still got the win anyway, so it doesn't matter. So, that was the last of the rivalry weeks for the year. We have 3 people that swept the rivalry week and 2 that tied. So, Tim, 2-0 versus myself. Ryan, 2-0 against Lance. And John, 2-0 against Matt. So, obviously, the 9-1 teams beat out Lance and Matt. And, everyone beats me. So, congratulations for me choosing you to be my rival, Tim. You're welcome. Tiff and Kim split a game. So Tiff won this last week and Kim won earlier in week 5. And Ben and Joe split. I think Joe won the first one and then Ben won the second one. So bragging rights goes to those undefeateds in the rivalry week. So for power rankings, not a whole lot. I don't have a whole lot changed. I have myself at 10, obviously, 0-10. The Poochoo train is a rolling. Matt, I still have at number 9. Bad loss last week. Tiff at number 8, got a win over her mom, so she's now 2-8. Matt is 3-7. I forgot to mention that. Well, you guys can see it on the screen, right? I hopefully have this up on the... Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. I still won't ever live it down that time that I didn't change the screen there. Lance at 7 again. 5-5. Almost got the upset last week, but didn't quite get there. Tim at 6, 5-5. Also, destroyed me, but I destroyed myself. So this is where a little bit has changed. Joe is down a spot at number 5. Lost last week to Ben. Also 5-5. At number 4, I have that. Oh, this is literally the exact same order as the power rank and the standings. I just now realized that. Okay, whatever. Kim at 4, Ben at 3. No, it's not. I have John at 2 and Ryan at 1. So, Kim lost to Tiffany last week. Ben's team's starting to roll here. So that's why I have Ben over Kim, and I have Ryan over John for the simple fact that I think John's team has had over the course of the year the four studs: Mahomes, Chubb, Cup, and Tyreek Hill. You lost one of those, possibly for the year. So I don't know. Let's look at John's schedule for the rest of the year. Where is he at? Right there. So he plays Tim this week. That's going to be kind of a tough matchup. Lance next week. It's kind of going to be another tough matchup. He gets a free win in week 13, and then he plays Ben in week 14. So, I mean, worst case scenario, you go 1-3 in that span here because you would definitely get a win over me. I'm pretty sure I'm going to go defeated the rest of the year. I play Kim. This is a loss. I play Tiffany next week. It's gonna be rough. That's a loss, and then I lose to Joe. So yeah, I might actually not win a single game this year, which God, please let the only win of the season come in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, so yeah, could possibly lose to Tim this week. Has maybe a little bit more of a chance against Lance, but then again, Lance's team, Justin Fields is going to get. Oh my God, what is it? Pierce. I can't remember. I can't think of his first name. Damian Pierce. Jesus friggin' Christ. Debo, Travis Etienne will be back. I don't know. That's going to be close. So yeah, and then Ben's team is white hot right now. So you know, I mean, you 9-1 right now, so you go 1-3. You're 10-4 on the year. Um, you know, Ryan doesn't have the benefit of playing me, but uh, he two matchups with Matt here in the end there could lose all four of these games theoretically. But sorry, Matt, but I think Ryan beats you both weeks. I just do. So worst case scenario, in my opinion, for Ryan is 2-2. Um, has a definitely a chance to beat Ben, and definitely a chance to beat Kim, and vice versa. Then Ben and Kim could beat Ryan. So, but that would at the end of the year, worst case scenarios here, have Ryan ahead of John for the year. So, yep. But that's all I got, guys. Next week, if anybody wants to come on and you have a certain day, like if Wednesdays or Thursdays work best for you, anytime after, let's say, 6:30, 7 o'clock, anytime after that. Well, okay, sorry, before 10 o'clock because I gotta get up early for work in the morning, so I usually go to bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock ish. So if anybody wants to come on and you've got a specific time that you're off work or you could do it this night, let me know. I could always cater to whoever would want to come on. I'm getting a little tired of doing this by myself, and I know you guys are getting tired of hearing just me talk about my poo-choo train and the shit that's happening. And yeah, so I'm also working on a separate video which I will release at the end of the year, and it's essentially going to be the documentary of my season. And basically, it'll probably be a 45-minute video of me making excuses why I didn't win a single game this year, and why I finished last, and why I hate fantasy football, and yada yada yada. But it will be whiny bitch fest. But I'm sure a couple of you will get a kick out of me whining and bitching and complaining. So yeah, that'll be at the end of the season. I'm waiting. I've got a lot of information on it already, and research done, and theoreticals. But I'm going to wait till the end of the season so that I could add everything in together in one video and post it on the internet for the whole world to laugh at me. So, yep, that's all I got. Thanks for listening, guys.